you guys. Welcome to another episode of TFU. And today, no, you're not doing that today.
No.
Oh, God, I hate that. Woo. God, and usually I'm on the other side of it, but announcing today, since Josh isn't here.
No?
I hate it even more.
Okay, then keep going, sir.
But today we have one of my good friends, Jeru Tillman, New York native. Welcome.
I'm from Connecticut, but thank you.
Are you really from Connecticut?
I am. I'm from Stamford,
so
Connecticut.
So you're born in Connecticut, but you lived in New York, right?
I mean, I've been in New York 12 billion times, but I was born in D.C.
See, we couldn't find that. We couldn't find exactly. You know, you don't have a Wikipedia page.
I don't know. Is that good or bad?
That's bad for who you are and what you do in the comedy industry. You're like one of the, I know you're a little modest, so I won't be so modest about what you've accomplished here. You're huge in the comedy section.
I'm competitive in that world for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that you don't have a Wikipedia page, we got to get you.
I got to check that out.
One.
You got one? I got to check that out.
Of course I have.
But you got an IMDb, that counts.
I do got an IMDb page.
Yeah, no.
But you got a Wikipedia page?
Absolutely.
What does that say? Like, I mean, I would never think to go to Wikipedia if I wanted to know. I mean, not to say that that's not the right thing. I have a company
page, and it's not very thorough, but you do find out that I do own the company. It talks a little bit about me. It talks about things, shows I've been on and stuff like that. So it's very, very light. But for someone as accomplished as you should definitely have a Wikipedia page.
Did you create that page?
I didn't create it. I think someone started to create it. And then when you have a page or when there is a page of you, you can send in corrections. There was a lot of things wrong with it. So, they start having bad information. You just feel like shit, since it's out there, let me fix it.
So you mean a nigga could literally create a page about you?
Absolutely.
And 100%. Then anybody could make an edit.
They can make an edit if they have decent information that kind of speaks to that edit.
Yeah, but some bullshit has been posted before too.
Yeah, Wikipedia is not perfect. It's not a perfect place, but someone like you should definitely have one.
I've never once, thank you by the way, but I've never once ever heard Wikipedia. Never. Check his Wikipedia. I've never heard that. I'm gonna start looking now though.
I bet just some of the people that you manage. I bet Ryan has a Wikipedia page for sure.
I'm gonna check. I've never thought to check.
He'll tell you right now. Ryan has one. Tony Rock, I'm sure, has one. Mm. He has a wiki page.
Okay.
God, you're slow today.
No. I don't think Ryan has a wiki page.
He doesn't? Does Tony have one? Tony
has one.
Yeah, Tony has to have one.
I don't manage Tony anymore, though.
Oh, you don't manage him anymore?
Not for 2 years.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He has one.
He has one? Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Anyway, I apologize.
But yeah, so how was it being raised in Connecticut? See, I thought it was New York this whole time because I know your love for the Knicks is crazy.
35 minutes outside of the Bronx, so, adjacent, but the East Coast is great. If you're in Connecticut, you pretty much sound like you're from New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been to Stamford before. It's it's a freeway ride away from being in New York.
Yeah, it's hop, skip, and a jump.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. But I've been out here in California for most of my life, but I'm like everybody else that's not from here. We're from where we're from, but we're never going back.
Right. You never going back?
Mm-mm.
So Connecticut, that's where ESPN is, right? That's a big place for ESPN, right? No?
Bristol.
Oh, okay.
But that's not where, I'm closer to New York.
Okay.
Bristol's a little ways away.
Okay. How was it growing up in Connecticut, though?
It was cool. I grew up in the projects, so just your typical.
There's a project in Connecticut?
People in Connecticut, if any of your fans in Connecticut are looking at you like, come on, man. Yeah, there's projects. Mine don't exist anymore. They tore mine down and replaced them with high-income property, but all along the East Coast. Seriously, back in the day, all along the East Coast, property on the waterfront was where the poor people live. Like if you look at like Edgewater, New Jersey, which is right across from Manhattan, if you were to, the Hudson, it was landfill. So that's just, how it was. All the mob movies and stuff like that, they dumped you right by the water in the hood, seriously, in the hood. But now it's not like that. But no, it was great. It was great. I was influenced by hip hop early on. So just like a lot of people that work in the business that are from the East Coast were, hip hop kids.
How'd you get into comedy? How'd that even happen?
God, it was easy. Like my Uncle Mike, shout out to Michael Williams, owned the first black comedy club in the country. Somebody on the East Coast is going to complain about that. But he created the Comedy Act Theater in Leimert Park, which is right in the hood. And Robin Harris was the host at the time. So that's where everybody came through. DL, the Wayans, you name it. Anybody that was doing comedy kind of in that golden age, they came through there. And I was going to Englewood High at the time. So I would sneak to go, every now and again he would let me slide in, or I would just sneak in and chill. He would that's how I learned the game. He would put 2 chicken wings on every table. Every table fit 4 people. So, you go in there, you eat those chicken wings, you order 4 more and 10 more, and you laughing. So yeah, that's how I got exposed to it. And then when I went to college, San Diego State, I didn't want to get a traditional job, so I wanted to be a promoter. My Uncle Mike started sending me guys down. So, at the time it was like Faison Love, Chris Tucker for $200.
Ooh.
Stuff like that.
So you caught Chris Tucker early then. So you used to do shows with Chris Tucker in San Diego?
Nah, what's crazy? I was supposed to do a show with Chris at San Diego State in Aztec. So this is a real story, Aztec Center. And it was probably 600 people there. And it was packed, nothing but black people. So he calls me the day of and says, I can't make it. I'm not going to do the Chris Tucker voice, but he says, I can't make it. I got to do Arsenio. This is the day of the show, Alejandro. So I'm like, yo, that's like, you can't. He's like, I got to do Arsenio. Because I think House Party 3 had just come out.
Okay.
And so he says, but I got somebody for you. I got Faison Love. I was like, what the fuck is Faison Love? And this is true. So he says he just did Bebe's Kids, the movie, which was an animated movie, and he did Def Comedy Jam. So I didn't have any choice. So Faison comes down, it's packed. And if you know anything about San Diego and the black people out there, San Diego is a blood town. I don't know
Absolutely,
if you know.
I do know that.
So, they would always come to my shows. So I tell Faison when he gets there, I go introduce myself as the promoter. I said, look, dog, so I just want to let you know. Seriously, I said, just want to let you know before you get on stage. It's a lot of bloods in here. These niggas is ignorant. They Bama. And they blood, so I just want you to be careful. He said, nigga, what? I am from San Diego, and I am a blood. I said, yeah, you're going to do great. And I slapped him on the shoulder, and I walked off. And we've been friends ever since. But that really kind of helped. That show in particular helped propel me and to continue to want to do more stuff like that.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Do you have a relationship with Robin Harris? Because you mentioned him, and I saw that you executive produced like a special.
Back in the day, I never knew Robin. I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, but he was like, if I do a consistent show and AD is my host, that's how my nephew would look at me and AD. So, but when he passed away, years later, I was distributing a DVD. I had a deal with Universal Music and Video. So Michael had these high 8 VHS tapes of Robin in the club clowning, just being hilarious on stage, doing his weekly stuff. And he had shot a pilot, so we just edited together and put out the first Robin Harris kind of specials. Really, really bad quality, so don't go looking for that. But I did get a chance to do some stuff with Robin for sure.
Man, Robin back in the day was hilarious.
He was the best. Nobody was fucking with Robin Harris.
So I can't remember. Did Robin die? I know he died early. Was it diabetes?
I don't know. It's probably, I was in college when he passed, so it's probably like hypertension, something like that.
Yeah, it was. I knew he had something going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild right there. Mm-hmm. So did you get a chance to meet him? I know because he was coming. Yeah. So he was coming to your uncle's club too, right?
Yeah, he was the host.
He was the host every week.
Yeah, but I mean, I was a kid, so I wasn't really trying to be. I was trying to stay out the way so I could stay in there without getting thrown out. So maybe he remembered me, maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Why didn't you at one point get on the stage?
Because
I know you as being super funny.
Same reason it was so hard to get me to sit down and do a podcast. It's just not my thing. Truthfully, I mean, like I'd rather work behind the scenes and work to build up people who got talent and
right.
Give
but
it to
you
them that way.
constantly got jokes.
They're observations. They're not jokes. they're observations. You're a funny one, though.
Seinfeld got over with observations.
Yeah, that's true. It ain't gonna happen for me though.
It's not gonna happen?
Nah.
I think you should get out there one day.
Nah.
Do you ever coach your clients? Because I know you work with a lot of comedians and you manage them. Do you ever coach them on how to tell a joke, or do you help nothing? You don't do any of that?
Nah, because the dudes that I work with are experienced. I like to say formally manage one client now, but I work with a few different guys that note. And, coaching professionals on jokes, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but more often than not, I find myself listening to routines on the phone. If somebody wants to tell you a joke, they're gonna figure out a way to force you to hear it, even if you telling me you're not really trying to hear the joke you've told me 3-4 times. They're gonna tell it to you anyway. So you tag, you may give them a friendly tag, just hey, how about this? And if they like it, they like it.
Oh, okay, okay. So you just give them a little information on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but not much. I can't tell Deion Cole, like, yo, you joke. Like, they can't do that. Can't do that.
So I know you work with Ryan David. Is that the one client that you're referring to?
That's the one client that I formally represent. Yeah.
Okay. And how long you been working with him?
Man, we've been together for probably 6 years. Yes, maybe 7 years now. We've been together for a little while.
Yeah, I consider Ryan like top tier. I really honestly feel like he keeps going. He's gonna be one of the greats one day. I think he's really, really funny.
Me too.
Super talented.
I think he's the best of his generation.
For sure.
I think he's the best of his generation. It's just the reason he's successful is probably part of the reason why he's not recognized as the best of his generation yet. It's inevitable in my opinion, but that's probably the reason. And what I mean by that is that people view art as content. It's referred to as content now instead of art. So everything is disposable.
Right.
And there's a premium put on what would make you laugh in the high school lunchroom as opposed to something that's crafted. Right. So, in the case of Ryan, he's a slower bake than somebody else that,
like Drewski, you could say.
Drewski is funny as hell, but yes.
Yeah, but like it's more like shot in the iPhone. I don't think he gets on stage, although I love Drewski.
He does whatever he wants to do now. Yeah. Like he did his Coulda Fest in Atlanta, sold out State Farm Arena, I think. But it's just different. It's like Drewski's great. Drewski may be here for a long time, but he's certainly pop culture right now. Ryan is appreciated by a lot of people, and he's, guys that are at the top of pop culture really appreciate him too, and they're always commenting on his stuff. But he's not, he's not walking out to the club with a fur coat on trying to seek attention like that. He's a regular dude.
The difference between Drewski and Ryan, to me, Ryan's more like a real comedian. Drewski's just outrageous. He's just funny.
Yeah, he's just naturally funny.
He just walk around. Everything he do, it just seems to be hilarious. But does Drewski even do stand-up?
I don't know.
Okay. He's just... Yeah, on camera though, Drewski is fucking hilarious.
But if Drewski, if Drewski wanted to do something or wanted to get hired by somebody to host a comedy show, he'd probably get the bag because he's got a big old audience. And
I could definitely see him host it for sure.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
He would be dope as hell.
And how did you transition from like promoter to being people's comedians managers?
I started. I got exposed to management working for a guy named Benny Medina and another dude named James Lassiter at a company called Handprint Entertainment back in the day, where I was their assistant. JL managed Will Smith, and Benny Medina was the inspiration for the Fresh Prince. So he managed Will as well. Michelle Ndege Cello was I don't know if you guys are hip to her, but she's dope. Grammy winner. Babyface, Jennifer Lopez. Benny still manages Jennifer Lopez. So I was their assistant. And then the stuff that I was focused on, I brought a girl named Ananda Lewis to MTV when she was at BET doing a show called Teen Summit. And then on the music side, I guess I was managing producers mostly. A dude named Mario Winans, who's made a lot of hits.
He had a great record.
Yeah, he did.
He got a great record that he did, I think, with Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dope ass record.
Never want to hear that again.
Huh?
Never want to hear any of that Diddy shit again, though. I'm teasing.
Well,
I'm teasing. I don't even care. I don't care. Honestly, I really don't.
You know, proven. I mean, you gotta. He's not guilty yet.
You know what? You know what song is gonna be hard for me to not play? "Hate Me Now" with Diddy and Nas.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Why?
Something about "You Can't Stop Me Now."
Oh yeah,
Man, look, as far as I'm concerned, as of right now, Diddy is innocent. Unless you're talking about beating women. He's definitely guilty of that.
Legally, for sure.
Yeah, legally, for sure. That's where I'm at. Well, have you been to any Diddy parties?
Yeah.
And
I ain't never been to none of them closed door Diddy parties, but everybody's been to a Diddy party back in the day. If you could get in,
it's
then
a
you wanted to
motherfucker.
go. Yeah.
It's
if
definitely
you wanted to go, for sure.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, it's terrible that happened, and now a whole generation of people can't say that they was at the hottest. I mean, he was the dude.
Yeah.
He was the dude for a minute. He just clearly went a little bit too far.
Something happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but, you know.
To me, it seems like, because we've had people tell us they went to Diddy parties. Seems like 95% of the people who went to Diddy parties didn't experience no freaky shit.
Yeah. Nobody that we interviewed, at least they're not willing to talk about it.
Nah, I'm good. I mean, but it is crazy, though, how you would hear all these conspiracy theories on, like, hip-hop podcasts about, you know, sign the contract, now I'm good. Oh, yeah? Put the tape on. Like, you always thought that was like, you know, somebody showing you a tape of yourself getting raped was like, come on with these crazy stories. Like, the prospect of it being true by one of your, you know, that dude inspired you to spend your last dollar back in the day.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
For sure.
So, I mean, it's just crazy that another hero, quote-unquote hero, has been torn down and is self-inflicted. So.
And what do you think about the conspiracy theory about him suing the alcohol company? And then, does that play or similar to the other one?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the one thing that we can say is that we do have tape of him whooping Cassie's ass in a hallway
for sure
of a hotel. Mm-hmm. So there's no conspiracy there.
No.
The other stuff.
But the conspiracy behind that is who put out the tape.
She did. I mean, clearly, like...
She didn't have that tape.
Well,
there's no way in the world she had the tape. Remember, she is taking the ass whooping on the camera. She didn't get the tape.
I mean, you know, she made a request to settle. He refused to pay it. The next day, that tape was out there. And, you know... Ain't that how it went?
No, I thought it was the other way. I thought he had already settled, and then...
No. He said something like...
Or maybe that wasn't. Yeah, maybe that wasn't it.
I don't know. I got to go back and look at my
he had made a
interviews.
statement as basically he was innocent of everything.
Yeah.
And then the tape came out.
Yeah. But she had already asked to settle, and he refused.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. Like what we talked about a little while earlier.
Right.
Pay that girl her $50,000.
But see, that's just knowing the dirt that he did. He should have just paid her.
Should have.
For sure. Just paid her. Her, for sure, should have got a check. But I don't know if that would have ever stopped the tape from coming out because she didn't have control over the tape. They're saying the people that found the tape was Homeland Security, and they released it.
Who's the they that's saying it?
I can get into that because the only reason why...
Was it the people that said it? The people?
No, the only reason why I could go along with that theory is because Homeland Security did investigate his house and confiscate his drivers and all that other stuff. And they are the people I would feel came across it, and one of them released it.
They wouldn't release that publicly without her permission.
No, yes, they would.
No, they would not.
They
would not.
You think they just released it because they knew they were going after him?
That's not why he was arrested, was it? Was that why he was arrested?
No, not at the time.
So why would they release that?
But later on, because now you have people can publicly have a vision of him and then be like, oh no, he definitely did that because of this. They got all that to lean on now.
But he was arrested after that video came out.
Absolutely.
So?
But everybody had a negative opinion of him when he got arrested. So automatically you would assume he did it because he did this. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
What is he in jail for? I don't even know what he's in jail for. What is he in jail for?
Sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah, but you know what sex trafficking is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I would love to hear what you think it is.
Transporting a person across state lines for the purposes of sexual activity. I don't know if there's pay involved.
Nah, but it's even less than that. Let's just say you shot a video, you were shooting a video and you were bringing people from New York. You got a bunch of girls over there. You bring them from New York to LA and somebody has sex with them.
Right.
That's sex trafficking. That's ridiculous.
There's going to be a whole lot of people not saying nothing about that.
Well, that is ridiculous.
But he had people helping him. And they have.
So again, context matters. So it's a little bit more formal than how you're describing it. Right?
Yeah.
1,000 bottles of baby oil. Come on. Explain.
He had a lot of parties. What is baby oil? What is it? Okay, so I don't see how baby oil really matters.
You know what? You're right. Because whatever you choose to do.
Yeah, that's you.
Like you
he
being
like
freaky.
Baby oil. I don't know if he's drinking baby oil.
Baby oil, to me, the amount of bottles seem excessive.
That's excessive. Unless
But
it's really going
You
down.
see his house?
Yeah.
You see his parties?
Yeah, but I find
It's a lot of people that show up.
but not excessive of him buying. I feel like it's too many. I cannot pick. Maybe he buys in bulk.
See,
Clearly
for me,
he does.
now this is. I mean, and my house is nowhere near fucking Diddy's house. Every time I go to the grocery store, I'll be like, "Oh, okay, paper towels. Give me all of them.
Give me 1,000.
Give me all of them because I never want to come back."
How many?
Huh?
How many is all?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Multiply that by 500. No, by 50. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's way
Cut that part out.
He's way more successful. He's has a lot of parties.
Baby oil. I mean, it's all good. Listen,
But I don't know what is baby oil supposed to even do or mean.
I don't know.
it's a lubricant. You know what it does. Stop trying to play
I'm
around.
not using baby oil.
That's the original
as
get it
fucking
started
lubricant.
oil.
But that's not for what the type of sex you like.
And how are you familiar with that, Alejandro?
I'm just saying.
Alejandro, what's going on, man?
One area
Let's talk about who you are.
No, I'm just saying. Sex education. One area gets wet naturally, one doesn't.
Wow. You know, this is LA, so it's really interesting how you got tons of movies. Everybody knows what LA, the underbelly of LA is. You've seen it in movies before you come here, right? Like you know kind of what it is.
Do you like the underbelly?
No, I'm square, bro. Like I'm not really about that. That's why I don't work in music anymore. Like that's not me. I'm still cool,
right.
But I'm a dad with 2 girls. You know what I'm saying? I can't get out with the underbelly like that. That's what makes you a successful promoter, though. Understanding how to move in the underbelly for sure, but nah.
So what are like the differences between like the comedy entertainment business and then the music entertainment business?
Music is really much more of, at least when I was coming up, and it was more about like the lifestyle. It was this, if you really wanted to get ahead, particularly in black music and hip hop, you had to be out there living that life, doing that thing. Not necessarily like my crew were, players, essentially. They weren't like, nobody was violent, but you see all that stuff. I was there the night that Biggie got killed. That was
You was at the club?
I was 50 feet away. I was outside in the awning.
Oh, talk about that.
Peterson Museum.
Let's hear that.
What you want to hear?
What happened?
I don't know exactly what happened, but I will tell you this. It was the best. That was probably the best industry party that I've ever been to at the time. It was a Vibe magazine party.
Okay.
And everybody had on suits. For the most part, that was the swag. It was like everybody had on suits. So you looking good. You know what I mean? You up in there looking like a player. Everybody at the time was in there. I still remember Puff and Big had on the same shirt. I still remember them chilling off to the right of wherever we were. Everybody was there. Russell, you name it. Anybody, Timbaland, anybody who was popping at the time was there. And it got super crowded, I guess. So the fire marshal came in, which was odd because, again, it was like, we were having a good time, but you're in a suit. Nobody's really trying to start a fight when you're looking good, not with your best stuff on. So we go outside. They have us go outside, start to go outside before, they clear everything out. This best I can recall. So I was with a friend of mine, a guy named Kenny Burns. We're standing outside of the awning, and all we hear is, so everybody ducks down, and we're hiding behind cars at Peterson and the Peterson Auto Museum. And I believe it was DJ Quick that was like at the car over to the duck down. We were like we just started with some LA dudes.
Right.
Who just were just fucking up the game because it's really an East Coast party. And that's the best music industry parties are East Coast parties. I'm sorry, dog. I love the West Coast.
And you're from the East Coast, but go on.
But
That's true. Like,
I can attest to that because I lived in New York for like 4 years. So
you know what it is.
More like taxis, Uber, and also they close later. To me, closing at 2 a.m. is ridiculous.
Closing at 2 a.m. is ridiculous. And then, gang culture is the flavor out here. It influences pop culture or West Coast style out here.
So you thought it was just a regular shooting, and then
I just thought somebody was shooting in the air. I didn't think it was nothing to it. So later on that night, we go to Andre Harrell's house, rest in peace. And the rumors started bubbling around. Yo, it was Big who got hit. He's that blah blah blah. We didn't even believe it. Thought it was ridiculous. That got hit. So that's how we found out. March 9th, 1997.
So at the event itself, at the party itself, outside, after the fire marshals pulled everyone out.
I don't even know if everyone was out because it didn't really look like it was that crowded. We were kind of just milling around. Like, have you ever been to Peterson?
No,
have you ever seen this on Fairfax and Wilshire? And there's like Fairfax is what the covered lot leads out to. Okay. And then you make it right and then you're on Wilshire. But it's not like a parking lot. It's like, it's like an awning over your head. So it's open and da-da-da-da. So yeah, so we just heard it. We just thought it was some dudes just being LA.
Right. So when so you didn't even know.
I love LA, by the way. Love LA.
so at the time you didn't even know he got shot at that moment?
Nobody knew. Nobody knew he got shot. Nobody would have thought that Big would have got shot. Nobody was thinking that.
That's crazy.
Unless you were part of his inner circle, as Gene Deal breaks it down lately on, different podcasts. They seemed like they was the only ones that knew. We didn't know. Yeah. And what's really crazy is when you think about how old these dudes were. He was like, I think he might have been 25.
Yeah.
I think Pac might have been 25.
Yeah.
Dudes was like kids. Dudes, young boys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How did we get there, by the way?
No, you just told us that. I don't know how we got there.
Yeah, because I asked the difference between the music industry and...
and he wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more... I really felt like, for my personality, like I'm not an out front guy. Not like that. That's just not my nature. But I have a great eye for recognizing talent. And I've been around comedy. I understand comedians. I know their motivations, kind of what it is. It's different now, but it was great for me to be able to put dudes in a position to succeed, in ways that people don't necessarily get or see,
Who are some of the people that you worked with in the past that you would consider that was my client?
That are comedians?
I mean, yeah.
Or just in general?
In general.
Let's cut that part out because most of the guys I have are right. I don't even want, they were writers or producers. Ain't nobody that you gonna know.
Right.
Unless they were, Mario was probably the one who was the most visual that made the most money. But there were other guys. MK was a dude that I used to work with who was a big techno festival DJ, a lot of European stuff. But in terms of making deals for guys and putting cats in position and taking a piece, I've done that several times. Mm-hmm. And people have, come through my situations and have gotten career change of breaks. That's the dope part. If, the key is, because this is LA, so this is where you're going to get your opportunities for the most part. You can make it on your own, obviously now, but, if you're going to facilitate opportunities for guys, then you just got to make sure that you're in so you can get a piece.
So how did you meet Ryan?
I saw Ryan online. I was vice president of All Def Digital at the time, and he just made me laugh. And so I just hit him. I just hit him on DM, and I was like, yo, let's talk. And I told him, I said, hey, man, you have a manager? He said, no. He was just a, North Carolina,
right,
Southern dude. Even though he says it's Southeast, it doesn't feel like it. Not him. Just a Southern dude, and I appreciated his humor and, felt like he had potential to be somebody big. Right.
And I think, he's doing extremely well, too. I know he was on Issa Rae's show, Insecure, right?
Yeah, he did a couple of appearances on Insecure. He was on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He did All Def Comedy. He's about to release a special. and he's hosting the history of black comedy. No, excuse me, Black Comedy in America on Vice with Tiffany Haddish and Chris Spencer right now. So, and then he's touring nationally, coming to a club or theater near you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nah, Ryan's hilarious, man.
You mentioned how comedy has changed, that there's like a difference. What would you say, like, the last 6 years, 7 years? I feel like COVID kind of changed a lot with making the presence more online than in person.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think social media in general has really changed it. Anybody over 40 is going to say it's changed it for the worse, because you just can't help but hate when you've been busting your ass for 20 years, you know, driving 100 miles to make $100, and all of a sudden, you know, somebody blows up online. But I think the biggest thing is that the art form is kind of struggling a little bit. I'm only speaking from the African-American or ethnic purview, because that's my frame of reference. But, you know, guys blow up on social media by doing funny stuff, skits, the type of stuff that we might be doing in class to make each other laugh. And then they recognize stand-up as a secondary revenue stream. Like, oh, I got an audience, so I could bring them to the club to go see me. And the first time out, the first run, it's always packed, people cheering for you. But then they see you and they realize that you're not that good. So for the most, but it's true, you can't be good if you don't go. It's like playing basketball or anything. You can't be good without putting the time in. So there's a difference. Like I do think that I'm all for, it's just like the sports. I'm all for the athlete, the actor, the entertainer making as much money as they can. But at the same time, having a governor, you know, somebody that says you're ready, ensures that the quality is there, just because that's what it is. So now there's no barrier to entry. You could just put it out there.
So you feel like the governor is a comedy club itself? And you put in the work in the comedy club, so therefore your stand-up is something?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta kind of earn it. Like the way stand-up works in Hollywood is different than the way stand-up works in Chicago, right, or in Atlanta. You know, it's like you pay your dues in Hollywood. You pay your dues. You go up on stage, and you're the guy that goes up first, and then eventually you smash, and then you could tell that people are starting to come to see you, and you get more prime spots where producers and casting people can see you. But if you're trying to make it as a comedian now and you're decent, you just get on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. That's not a knock. I mean, you know, one of my guys, Nate Jackson, one of my boys, that dude is selling out 2,000 people every city he goes to because he's popping on TikTok.
Yeah,
right.
It seems like now is them not even so much doing their show. I think because they don't want to give their show away, but it's the interaction with the audience. It seems to be big now. Yeah, crowd work. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who the them is. I mean, like,
well, I know Nate is famous for his crowd work.
Well, Nate and Matt Rife, right? Matt Rife is huge now, and I think, you know, Matt probably gave Nate some good influence on how to do it, but you still got to be good. You know, Nate Jackson is a really good comedian. He's funny as hell, actually.
Right.
But he figured it out. Like, you know, so you can do it. I mean, I just prefer guys I'm going to spend my money on to be good if I'm going to go see you. That's all.
Right.
But more power to anybody else who's popping and can bring in, you know, you got 2 million followers, man, more power to you.
Right.
How you feel about, like, the streaming world? Would you ever consider managing a streamer?
Nah. Well, what's a streamer?
Like Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, I Show Speed.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what, though? It would have, for me, it would have to be, yeah, absolutely. Those guys have so much influence and power, it's ridiculous. You saw the Kevin Hart and
right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why he's doing it. He ain't doing it just because there's no benefit to him to be nice. There's a mutual benefit. Those dudes are today, they're a generation or two below him, and they're funny as hell with huge audiences. Absolutely, I would.
Like, what I find them is, like, they're kind of like the new MTV for like the new generation. Like, and they kind of, the content they make is like the Truman Show.
Yeah, that's a good, like, I Show Speed, guys like that.
Yeah, like you live with them, you breathe with them, you spend like 8 hours, and then they answer to you through the chat. It's just like different.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I would not want to, I mean, it does. I'm like, man, I couldn't do that, but that's where we are now, right? But then you look at the power. Like, have you seen Mr. Beast's show? He's got
He has one on Amazon now. It's
I haven't seen this show.
Kind of like Squid Games.
Yeah, $5 million is the prize that he's giving away. Biggest influencer on YouTube. This dude's got so much money, $5 million. So, and it's all, you know, you build your audience, they'll go with you. You know, that's the benefit of it. You build a loyal audience, you keep giving them what they want consistently, then you'll win, you know, and you can monetize that audience. Just like the soap operas. It ain't got to be Emmy winning, but, you know, could you imagine your grandmother turning on, you know, One Life to Live and that shit not being on? She'd be pissed. And not one episode ever won an Emmy, really. I don't think It's just about being there. So, you know, that's it. Just feeding your audience, I think. But again, for somebody like me who was like, you know, my generation is like, you know, do it again until it's perfect. But that's not the way it works. It's about getting it out there first and getting it out there again tomorrow after that and the next day and so forth. So there's a compromise on quality, and there's a compromise on what's considered art for the sake of feeding your audience. And that's, you know, good and bad.
So how did you become an executive on All Death?
On All Death, this TV series?
No, did you mention that you worked in the company? And
All Deaf Digital. Yeah, at the time it was All Deaf Digital. It's All Deaf Media now. Just Russell Simmons and Steve Rifkin, meeting with those guys, two music industry executives. We hit it off. Russell had heard about me from being in the comedy space. Comedy was always clearly like part of his thing. And before I started working for him, we actually agreed to partner to do a live show with the goal of turning it into a TV show. So that's kind of what was the beginning of our relationship. We actually succeeded with that, but that was the beginning of our relationship.
I think I used to go to those shows. Was that at the Chinese Theater?
Yeah.
I used to even go before I knew you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I went to a few shows even before I knew you, and then once I met you, and then you would invite me out every now and then. That was a good show. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was the vibe. Like
you don't want to bring that back?
Bring what back?
I
already did. Remember, I invited you personally to a show I did at the Comedy Store this past month with Dion Cole, one of the biggest comedians in the game right now.
For sure.
And one of my closest friends stood me up.
Yeah, anyway, that was my bad.
And it just asked me to bring back something that I already just did.
Where are you? Is it gonna? But I think what's the name? Was it monthly or weekly?
No, that was weekly.
That was weekly.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not doing no weekly no more. Nothing. Nah.
LA needs it though.
Good. Let somebody if I could find somebody like that was a 30-year-old version of me or had goals, specific goals, but no, seriously, had goals to like try to get in the game, likes comedy, knows how to promote and could do it. Yeah. I don't even know, does that type of person really exist anymore? Like, you know, because for me, an exchange of, like, where is the young person? I was going to say young dude. Where's the young person that's like willing to do the work in exchange for the plug and the relationships and the resources? And
I don't think people understand that anymore, but that's huge.
It is huge
being the plug and having those kind of relationships. You become a business within itself. And people realize that. They'd be like, oh, no, you trying to get that done? No, call Jeru. Jeru can help you get that done.
Well, I mean, look, if you're out there, it would be dope to have somebody who I could say, hey, look, call, Paramount and Disney and whoever else and tell them we got the hottest young comedian that they need to see at the club tonight. You do that. Now, all of a sudden, you know that talent who might be a star one day, and you're building a relationship with executives across town. That's how it works. But everybody, wants to start off at director level now.
Right. It's funny because I didn't even know it worked like that. But recently, I kind of figured out it worked like that. So executives from TV shows, they often visit comedy shows looking for young talent. Is that how it goes? Or that's how it always used to go?
That's how it always used to go. Right. And if you look at you think about it, like my shows, you'd see like Tyler Perry there or whoever, casting director, Spike Lee.
Right.
Just coming up because when you're black, even if you got an authentically African American experience, even if you're in the business, you still want to come be in a mix and just have a good time. So that's really kind of what my paradigm has always been. But doing that, you know, and then somebody like me who built up a reputation for curating a good environment that could be meaningful, you know, it's like if you're a talent, you're more likely to trust me. If I say, yo, come do this spot, it's worthwhile. There's going to be some people there for you to see. You probably gonna say to yourself, oh shit, there might be somebody there for me to see. It's just like if I call, you know, a friend of mine who's head of BET Studios and say, yo, this girl is hilarious. She's smart. She fits your demographic. You need to come see her. You know, that's kind of how it works.
And then does that change too? So once they come and then they're interested in that particular person, then do you forge a relationship with the talent and say, hey, I can bring this opportunity
You
to
can.
you?
You can. I don't know that that's what I'm doing all the time, but you can for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's kind of how it works. I mean, like every promoter, I guess if you're talking about promoters, every promoter is not the same.
Right.
You know, because like otherwise every promoter would have the same caliber of talent, the same good-looking crowd or meaningful people in the crowd. They would, but they're not. So, you know, I think, but I also think that that's better because, you know, now you look and, you know, casting directors are looking at analytics and social media
you would
following.
say. Yeah.
And they're putting people on because they're influenced by the audience that they could bring. That doesn't always make it better. But I'll tell you this, though. Anytime I see somebody like that's like a black guy, like a Country Wayne, somebody like that who's dope. Mm-hmm. But if Country Wayne's doing a show like, you know, like might get hired to do an Amazon show. I think I saw something he was on. Maybe it was like a heist series and mostly white cast and him. You know, I don't think the people that are hiring him for the reason they hired him are getting their bang for their buck because his audience ain't gonna watch that.
Right.
They don't want to see no shit like that with no white people. They just want to see what it is. So I think you got to be mindful of that. And I also think that that's why just the young black comedic talent that popped in movies back in the day, like 2000s or whatever, early 90s from Friday up until that golden age, it was funnier because they were put in primarily based on their ability as opposed to the audience that they could bring to the table. Chris Tucker wasn't famous when he got Friday, for example. He wasn't. Martin Lawrence wasn't famous when he did House Party. You know, so just guys, you just pop, you shine through, and you could tell, like, oh, that dude is a star. It wasn't, oh, his 8 million subscribers say he's a star. I guess it does, actually. You got 8 million followers, I guess you're a star. I guess.
Is that how Ryan got discovered for Insecure?
I think, yeah, in the case of Ryan, it was a bunch of things. Like, when he did All Def Comedy on HBO, he was in the mix a little bit, so they wanted to see him. So definitely with Curb. But in the case of like Insecure, those are people in the culture. Like Yvonne Orji, who's a friend of mine, who's one of the actresses on Insecure, one of the main actresses on Insecure. She was at the initial taping of All Def, sitting in the audience. So
got it.
You know, it's like, you know how it is with us. You could be famous as shit, but if somebody hot coming through, you still want to be there. You just kind of want to be in the mix. So I think that in the case of Insecure, Ryan was just in the culture already. So I don't know if that had as much to do with his agents, me, or whatever, other than him just bubbling and Issa probably just thinking, or Prentice thinking, that dude's funny as hell. Let's bring him in.
The funniest thing I've seen Ryan do, because he got a lot of funny stuff online, but his interaction with Kevin Durant was
I know, AD. Well,
was brilliant.
Is this a good time to announce that that you're producing a new sports podcast with Ryan Davis and athlete to be announced?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, no, that video where you know what happened?
Yeah, the back and forth.
Yeah,
and then
that video popped because he just commented on a Bleacher Report video about the Golden State Warriors, and Kevin Durant replied to his comment, which was fantastic, and just set it up. So I mean, no, that video, I think within the first 24 hours on across platform, I think he got over 12 million minutes viewed of that video, just in the first 24 hours. So just, you know,
I mean, that thing was legendary. And then also the one with, what was the receiver?
Oh, Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, my God.
Yo, you should start including little video cutaways when you reference that.
Oh, no, we will.
Okay, perfect.
We always do that.
So I guess you know I don't watch the show all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna start watching more
we
often.
always do that. We'll go
because
over.
we have the long format, which is more like us talking, and then but the clips, because now that's what
That's what,
And there's some, through Facebook, through TikTok, that's kind of like.
Oh, we go viral all the time.
All the time.
All the time here, big time. But yeah, and
ain't none of this shit going viral. Nobody want to hear no business talk go viral.
They don't really necessarily. I think some people are interested in different kinds of shows, and they would love to hear, the manager perspective, viewpoint. And I already told him that you have the best stories in the world. You just haven't unveiled some of them yet.
Yeah.
You got any Russell Simmons stories?
Now, you know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you, like with Russell. That's my man right there. I got love for Russell. And Russell is, since you referenced it earlier.
I met Russell through you.
Yeah, well, no, you didn't actually. I met you through Russell. I think. I didn't set that name up, did I?
You set up, because you took me over there to All Def to meet Russell.
I set that meeting up?
All day. All day. You was like, come meet Russell. And,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
For sure. You guys had the building in downtown LA.
Yeah. Now, Russell, man, that's my man for, innocent until proven guilty.
All day. He didn't do it, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not commenting on any of that.
Right.
That's my man. It sucks because had what transpired with Russell not transpired, we'd be in probably 5th, 6th season of All Def on HBO right now. So that was hella disappointing. But, just from the standpoint of being a black dude, I used to have, pictures of my influences on the wall in college, like magazine poster. Russell was up there, Spike Lee, so when, for, one of your main guys, a dude who
icon.
Yeah, an icon who proved he could get it done, to not be able to participate, it sucks. I'm talking about for me, just as somebody who doesn't know.
Why didn't he just give it to you and hand it off to you? Because you were already a partner in it.
No, that environment was wacky as hell.
Okay.
I mean, it was a wacky. You've seen it over there. It was a wacky infrastructure. It doesn't exist anymore the way that it did. But a lot of good came out of that. But Russell was wild. Man, Russell was an equal opportunity offender. Never met a dude more energetic than that dude. Put his money where his mouth is. I hate the fact that he can't really compete no more, or couldn't retire on his own terms. But
you really thinking he can't compete, or he just said, you know what? I know what they're gonna do because historically how they treat us here. I felt like he was just like, I don't want to deal with it. Let me just get out of Dodge.
That sounds like a different way of saying he no longer can't compete.
But do you think that he couldn't come back and try to compete?
No.
I think he doesn't want to be bothered.
Could you imagine, and that's my nigga, but as soon as the shit with Puff broke, he had to be saying to himself two things. Like the first was, whew, and the second was, nigga, this island's taken, my nigga, don't come here.
I don't know why when it happened and Diddy seen it happening, why didn't he do that?
I don't know.
Because everybody's seen it coming.
I don't know Diddy.
Right.
Never got to know him. Mm-hmm. Met him once, enough to say hello and interact briefly, but I don't know him. And again, by the time I did know him, I had no real, he stole Mario Winans from me, by the way.
He did?
He ain't steal Mario Winans, but he stole Mario Winans. Who you going with? You going with Puff, or you going with Jeru and Kenny Burns back in whenever the fuck we were managing Mario? But that's business,
So when something like that happens to you and the artist, because Mario Winans, far as I know, I think he only did 1 or 2 songs with Diddy, and then after that, it was over.
Nah, man. Mario Winans produced so many hit records.
Oh, so he was a producer.
That's yeah.
See, I need a girl. I know him from that song.
What song is that?
I think it's.
Sing it real quick.
I can't even remember it, but it's the one that The Weeknd redid.
Sing the melody. Let me.
No, we're not gonna even.
Creeping on the Low.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not creeping on the low. I don't want to know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of his records for sure.
Yeah, that record right there, crazy.
Yeah.
That's one of the dope. So I always thought he was a singer. I never knew he was a producer.
Yeah, no, but he's a producer first.
I know he come from a singing family for sure.
Yeah, he hated. I mean, I don't know if anything changed. I doubt it, but he hated performing. Like he hated I don't want to say he hated it, but he wasn't a natural singer performer. He was a, producer and he's a winans too, by the way. So
okay.
He's musically
inclined. Yeah, for sure. Now that song right there was a winner. I love that record.
He had a few of them. You don't remember I Need a Girl?
Wait a minute, I remember. Oh, so I Need a Girl and I Need a Girl Too is him.
Yeah. Amongst a bunch of other joints.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Marijuana was popping. He had joints.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know him as a producer. So that goes back to what you said. You used to manage a bunch of producers, so he was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mario was dope. He was but again, like the culture of that shit, like, more power to you, dude. If you want to work in music, it's for the birds for me.
See, I've been telling him about the running train culture that is in music and hip hop, but he doesn't want to believe me.
What's that?
The culture of running trains on girls.
He thinks every artist is running trains.
Not every training, but like
running trains
in the music industry and hip hop is all over the lyrics now, and it feels like it's part of the culture.
Listen, I don't think a lot of men want to have sex with another guy in the room. I
concur. That's not my.
I just don't think that that's real, and the reason why I don't think it's real is because I don't want it. So it's hard for me to imagine other people wanting that. Like I don't want to have it could be two girls. Cool.
Aren't you Muslim? You're Muslim, right?
Yeah.
They don't do that in Islamic culture. Do they run trains in Islamic culture? That's probably why. I'm serious. Like, is that why?
No, that's not why. It's just that I just be like, why is he here? I don't care. That's just where I'm gonna be.
Not my thing either. But I mean, but I'll tell you this though, it is really interesting times that we're going in because all that shit that you're referencing, if it has been said, there's a digital record of it. So people should watch their mouths. Like you listen to Rick Ross. You ever hear that song? I Ain't Know?
Yeah, I know. He lost his Reebok deal over that.
It's really interesting because who knows what he could lose down the line. It's not like somebody can't say, yo, you remember that shit you recorded 12 years ago? They could.
Right.
First job coming out of college, I was the t-shirt guy.
Okay.
On tour for Brandy and TLC. Worst job you could have on tour. Seriously, worst job you can have on tour. But you see shit. You see like in hip hop particularly, like it's hip hop doesn't require, neither does comedy. It doesn't require any formalized education to get in the game. It requires a degree of authenticity and hustle, right? So you got, niggas with drive that have no ethic and no morals, that do shit and can get out and are around a bunch of, matter of fact, as I've gotten older, I'm more likely than not to always believe the woman. Because,
they be lying.
They do be lying. But I'll put it to you like this. I've seen so many chicks if you're the baddest chick, where you from?
Puerto Rico.
All right, Puerto Rico. Damn. Are you from a small town in Puerto Rico?
San Juan.
God damn. It's a big city in Puerto Rico.
The thing is, I'm originally like the first 12 years Bayamon, but that's like a little.
Okay. Bayamon. So you're the baddest chick in Bayamon.
Right.
You decide to move to LA, right? To make it in the game. You're not ready for Jamie Foxx to be whispering in your ear. You're not.
So the fuck ain't.
You're gonna get manipulated by
all of
men who are motivated by sex, who have power, and put in positions where. And by the way, when you're 18, 19, 20, you going where you think the fun is. You don't know that just because you went to the hotel. Oh shit. This nigga's pulling out you know what I'm saying? You're not ready for that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know too many. I don't know. I know that they exist. Like the chicks who do lie, that are vipers, that'll get you. They exist. All that shit exists in LA, but
the law of averages would say the man is usually the guilty party.
the law of averages. Sure.
How do you feel about the Jay-Z situation? Because now it turns out the girl's dad said, hey, it didn't happen.
I didn't believe that in the first place.
And that's where I was. And unfortunately, Alejandro stopped. Alejandro believed it. And I said, it's no fucking way. It's no way.
I ain't passionate like that about none of it, right? Because Jay-Z is not my boy.
I'm
so
just
who knows? But I mean,
but the only reason why I'm passionate, I'm just like, these people are way too smart to put themselves in that situation.
Not then.
They're doing it with another part. They saying he did it with Diddy. I'm sitting there like, ain't no fucking way. That's the part that threw me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the part that threw me. I was like, now if you said he did it by himself, I'm still skeptical, but I can at least listen to the story. You saying he did it with Diddy? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Ain't no way.
So how do you feel about the dude who said that he woke up and Diddy was raping him while there were two people recording him?
I don't,
you don't believe him either?
So I don't know, how do people wake up to a rape?
If you get drugged.
Yeah.
Huh?
If you get drugged.
I need to hear that part. Waking up to a rape, it's a lot of stuff gotta happen.
Well, clearly you got
before
drugged.
they get to that part.
No, that's the.
If you get drunk, yeah.
Yeah, that's
more than drug. Yeah, drunk.
That's the alleged technique, right?
But you know what it is? I've been to a lot of parties. I've been to a shitload of parties.
But you don't drink.
No, but I'm watching people. It's not like people are really getting incapacitated to that degree. It's a few people out there. There's people sleeping and stuff like that. But it's not like people are like handing out drugs, getting fucked up. I've seen stuff, but it's not like...
Maybe you haven't been invited to those parties. Because...
That might be true.
I'll tell you this. Like, I have recently come to realize that a lot of people that I know have done cocaine. I've never done cocaine. I've never seen nobody pull no cocaine out in front of me.
See, I have.
Ever. Like, I've never even seen it. So
I've seen that at a party.
Yeah, see?
So I've seen that party favor. It's party favors. I've definitely seen that. I definitely avoid that table. But, yeah, I've seen that.
I've never seen it. So, but I have seen people do some risque shit for fame, for sure.
So do you think I don't know. I just don't think that you can sleep your way to the top. I don't think that, they say Madonna did and all these other people did back in the day. I don't know if you can get there.
You have to have some sort of talent, but, depending, maybe not Madonna, but there's a lot of actresses that got in movie roles.
Yeah.
They always say that, but does that really guarantee you sleep with Weinstein?
It gives you an opportunity.
Huh?
If you all of a sudden you a star of blah blah blah.
They got it. But is it really going down like, all right, here's the contract, sign the contract, you got the deal.
But I feel like
I don't know if it's that.
I feel there must have been a lot of situations where the girl thought like, okay, the guy dropped his pants. If I, something good's gonna happen for my career, and then nothing ever did.
See, I think that happens all the time.
I think both happens.
Yeah, I think that happens all the time.
I think both happens all the time. At the end of the day, you see people making morally challenging decisions with frequency, that'll eat at you. So I couldn't do that.
Because I take photos and stuff like that, I've been used before.
They drugged you?
No, not in that sense.
No,
like a woman, it's like shows interest, Obviously you try to, make them happy with photography and stuff. And they just give you enough, but not the whole thing sometimes. So used.
So what was enough?
Huh?
I just want to know what was
flirtation.
No, yeah.
No. Don't help him. You shouldn't have helped him.
Well,
he was about to jump off the bridge.
Not jump off the bridge. I'll just end it at this.
Oh, see.
They bring an outfit that is very revealing that all of a sudden the titty's out where it shouldn't have been out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I snap a little bit more too.
I guarantee you gave him that photo shoot though.
Yeah. Hence, I've been used.
I believe it. Oh yeah, I believe it.
And right when you sent them the picture, they deleted your number?
Nah, not like that. But like, it's just like a cat.
They got busy.
It's like a cat and mouse game, And the mouse always gets away.
You gotta work on your closing game.
Yeah, Jerry always does get away though.
You gotta close, man. You gotta
close first. It'd be like before you see it's sin.
How long is the titty out? Is it out for like a half a second and then she puts it back in, or is it out there?
It's out there.
Oh, then you tripping. You gotta close the deal, man.
Yeah.
If it ain't no nude photo shoot and the titty's hanging out, she's telling you something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta close, man. How old are you?
I'm 30 now.
How old were you when this happened?
Maybe 26, 27.
I mean, I guess.
I'll tell you this, like, there was one time there was a married woman, so, I was, like, ethically responsible not to do anything.
But you know what? He is known to have titties in his face. We did a podcast with these 50-year-old strippers when we first started, and she whipped out them titties, and she had them right in front of him. And we was like,
at 50?
Yeah.
Did you have to look down when she pulled them out? Did you have to
No. She had
just
a boob
like
job.
look straight into the camera.
She had a boob job.
Yeah.
She had them titties right in front of you.
No, but like,
His mouth started watering. Oh yeah. Oh man.
You like boob jobs?
I've only done natural up to this point. Like I know girls that have boob jobs, but
I've seen boob jobs probably for the last 12 years, easy, 15 years. Now I'm into boob jobs. You don't like boob jobs?
Any hatchet jobs that you've seen? Like what the fuck is going on here? Who's your doctor?
I've seen some bad ones. But not a lot. Most of them.
Most of them section right there.
You don't like a good boob job?
Nah.
Damn. I love a good boob job.
I don't want no fake ass either. I'm good.
Oh, fake ass is ridiculous.
What's the difference between that and a boob job?
I've only had fake ass once.
That sounds like you went to a restaurant.
But you know what it is? I couldn't, I don't know. I don't know if I could tell. I don't know. I didn't think it was. I don't know.
The density was a little.
Huh?
The density was off.
I knew going into it. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. You used to see chicks at All Deaf,
the comedy show with like 22-year-old girls with a fake ass. I'm like, you're gonna look crazy in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, what do they look like now? Gotta have taken that out by now. You gotta take your ass out. Like you gotta.
But I think it's like some people, like let's say Cardi B. Yeah. She went to Mexico and got like fat injections, some shit on her. Like, so I don't know how you take that out.
Wait, no. I'm a fat in that part.
Yeah,
because that's more natural, so I can wrap my head around that one. Like a fake ass inside your body, the metal detector, kind of goes off. Nah, I can't do that. Hey, but so since you are in the industry and you kind of mentioned it before, have men ever hit on you? Since you did mention it, I'm just curious.
Let me think. I've been hit on by a man before, but not in the context of
horrible, isn't it?
Not in the context of entertainment. Yeah. At the time, it was much more horrible than it would be today. Because like today, like you hear that you're more aware of the possibility of that happening to you than you were 15 years ago when it happened to me. Yeah, it happened. It was at Century City Mall. I went down that one aisle, that one side of the mall that was like not really traffic for whatever reason, like the furniture store. I walked past, some nigga said, "Hey, what's up, sweet thing?" Listen. I was shocked. So much that I kept walking. I kept walking like maybe 8 feet, and then rage just boiled up over me. And I turned around, I was like, "The fuck did you say?"
Yeah.
I said, no, what the fuck did you say to me, my nigga? And he ran. Like, dude, he went into one of the stores. I was enraged. Now, I don't know if that's I don't think that's appropriate behavior today. Might be, though, because if a motherfucker refers to me as sweet thing again, you might get the same reaction or worse. But, I mean, I don't know.
It's horrible now. You know what makes it horrible? Because I just think that these people, especially on Instagram, like, it was ridiculous.
Like how in your face?
I never had to block men. It was just, I'm just like, what's going on? What kind of world are we living in?
You putting it out there though. You be wearing your, you be wearing your tight workout gear and his Rolls Royce. What you expect?
No tight gear.
But what he's talking about blocking is he had like personal men send him pictures to his inbox.
Well, I've seen it all, unfortunately.
Oh, that's awful.
No, it's the worst thing ever.
I'm reporting all them niggas.
Hey, wait, I did.
Yeah.
I'm the police at that point.
I'm reporting all of them.
Okay, so switching the topic real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think when it comes to Black Hollywood, is the golden age era behind us or ahead of us? Because Snoop Dogg bought Death Row Studios. I don't know if that's going to lead towards a better directions for, Black create.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, there's less content getting made now. See?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get excited about content.
Right.
Ain't too much stuff that gets made that I'm really excited about. I hope so. It would be nice. I mean, if Snoop, I will say this, if Snoop is planning on making more films, then you know what that sensibility is going to be, which is great. It's going to be ghetto, comedy, fun stuff, which would be great because I like that too. I like that. I like the Royal Tenenbaums as well, but some ghetto shit is great. I don't know if I would. I mean, more power to Snoop, by the way, but I don't know if I was thinking golden age of Hollywood with Snoop Dogg Death Row films, but maybe.
No, yeah, I don't know, but like what I'm seeing is because a couple of comedians we know are getting hired to do like short films, and I don't know if that leads to him empowering creators to then, because I feel like like the last 10 years because I grew up on Friday After Next, Don't Be a Menace, and those movies don't get made anymore. Undercover Brother.
I agree. They should, by the way. They should get made because there's an audience there. It's different now because everything is so data driven. Like, I feel like my palette was way broader pre Netflix. Now you can see anything you want, but I get served what they think I want to see as opposed to what I discover.
That's true.
So even like music, like when I was in college, there was no formatted playlist, and by that I mean like you would hear Sade, you would hear hip hop, you would hear R&B, all in the same station. And so by virtue of that, I'd be at the warehouse grabbing Sade and whoever, Onyx, whatever, hip hop, whatever, just getting it because my palette was different. Now on Netflix, for example, it's just what you get served up. So I don't know. I hope that more dudes do it. I'm just like, who are they gonna convince to distribute it and promote it aggressively so that people can find it? But celebrity doesn't feel the same to me. It's like, not too many movie stars. Can you name 5 movie stars under the age of 50?
I would say Timothy Chalamet is one, but I'm not a big fan of him. But like that's besides the point.
Can you name 5? Can you name 4 black movie stars under the age of 40?
No.
Michael B. Jordan. Who else?
Michael B. Jordan.
Anybody else?
Damon Wayans Jr.
He's not a movie star. He's a working actor, but he's not a movie star. He's
not a star.
He's past his prime too.
But
no, like I would say Junior. Oh, my bad. I was thinking about Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
Oh, Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, because I think
Marlon's
the 2000s.
He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
Marlon might be 55 now. Might be. Which is
Wait a minute.
crazy, right?
Speaking of Snoop Dogg, what was your role on the roast?
I produced it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made the deal and produced it. I pitched him because years ago I had him committed to a roast. Years ago, I just couldn't come up with the money. I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. So years later, we were gonna roast Russell, but nobody wanted to buy it. Just at the money that we could get it done for. So, I just said, let's get Snoop, because I was hoping that we could have built a series, a roast series, a black roast series. Right. That was high, because there hasn't been one since Shaq did it probably 25 years ago. Okay. And, I produced it. Just went to him. He was cool. It was difficult. His team at the time has changed, but his team was just putting a slow roll on us. We were having a hard time. And then I had to go to the hood manager who made it happen. Shout out to Percy at the time who made it happen. And, we accelerated from there. So that was cool. Ghetto Fest. I think that's still on YouTube if you can't find it. The network.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
is.
they exist
It was
anymore.
awesome, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big plug for Tony Hinchcliffe. He got a lot out of it. Did you familiar with him?
Yeah, that's Kill Tony.
Yeah, that's Kill Tony.
I think as a roaster, he's amazing. I don't really like the podcast that much, though.
Yeah, but he's smart though. I mean, like he's always recognized the value of getting it. You know, he grew up around black people. I think he grew up in the projects in Youngstown.
You could always tell when people grew up around black people. All you have to do just like 1 second, you'd be like, oh, okay.
He
was raised. You could tell. I mean, you could just tell.
He's pretty white to me, but he's very confident though. I mean, you know, he's just, and I think that he recognized like if he did well in front of black people, that could be meaningful because you need that. Like,
right?
Can you name one black comedian who blew up from a project that wasn't black? Not named Eddie Murphy.
Well, the only thing I would say when what's the name did was it Money Talks. I didn't really know who he was then. Yeah, Chris Tucker, I had seen him on Def Comedy Jam, and he got off there. But when he appeared in Money Talks, I was like, oh, wow. I thought that was so different to see him on that. He did well in Money Talk. It was awesome. And I think that's what also helped him lead him to get to Jackie Chan in them, to do that series.
Yeah, well, he was already, by the time Def Comedy Jam came out, he was already like, soon as I got seen, he was gone.
But they said Money Talks, he got $20 million for that. I don't know what he actually got.
I don't think he got that.
But they said he got a lot of money.
Yeah, I think he got that for Rush Hour.
He definitely got it for Rush Hour. Yeah. But I just heard that was he
should have did so many more movies, man.
God.
Because you're only young once.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to see the puffier Chris Tucker. You know how it goes. It's like one day you get a good looking cop running down the street after the bad guy with your gun in your hand, shirt open. And the next day you're the sergeant.
Yeah. Sergeant.
They're both valuable. Just one is not as valuable.
Yeah.
So
Gerard Carmichael, maybe, would you say? Like, I don't remember what black thing he did that.
The Carmichael Show?
But wasn't like a, yeah.
No, that was an all black show on NBC. It was like.
But the backing.
But he probably, Tiffany got exposed from there. But that was girls trip for Tiffany, really. But he put Lil Rel and Tiffany on the Carmichael Show. Did Gerard blow up, in your opinion?
No. No.
But like I seen him in movies. He did like he hosted Saturday Night Live, so I think that's like definitely a nice accomplishment.
I forgot he hosted Saturday Night Live. You know, he knows how I feel about this. I told him like I always wish that he would have gotten in front of a black audience because you can't be black, and you know we want to feel like we like you're ours. You came from us, and then you always have a place to come back to when shit gets thick.
Yeah.
But what happens out here is that a lot of guys that get mainstream success or mainstream work, that's where they lean into because that's the check and they feel like they made it. But that's a fraternal thing. The general public, you know, like Lil Rel is popping, right? But he still might be to a lot of black people. He still might be like, oh shit, that's the dude. That's
right.
You know, I don't know if you know if you're saying that's Lil Rel per se. So I think you got to get like he would be dope in another black project. Gerard should have been on another, you know, he should have been in some black show. Every time he would do my show, which is, you know, basically high-end black audience for the most part, black people would be like, yo, that dude is great. Who the fuck is that? I'm like, that dude is, you know what I'm saying? He's out there already, you know, but that's how it works. That's how it works. So, and he doesn't want to be famous, so.
He doesn't want to be famous?
He got 400 people on his Instagram. You know, so it just, you know,
damn,
it's private. You know, he's just that's you know, gifted dude, but you know, and rich, I guess.
I saw him on Little Things because he's like, you know, that's a somewhat of a white movie.
What's Little? See, I ain't see it.
It's like it won Oscar. It's like the director is like European and does like you know, but. It was an Academy movie.
That's kind of what his vibe is, right? But like me and AD would be like,
I never seen,
yo, AD, you want to put on Little Things? Nah, I'm good. That's kind of how it works.
Put on Friday After Next.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
Like Hannibal Buress is another black comedian who popped on the mainstream side.
Yeah.
Probably, but black audiences don't really know him like that. He's funny. He's big. It'd be nice to always be able to come back. Like Steve Harvey, when that show went off, he kind of fell off a little bit. So he went to the church. He did a couple of shows with T.D. Jakes, a big arena show, and then wound up on the beat. And, that's kind of really what happened for him. Like, he leaned back into his core.
Since you are in the comedy industry, did Hannibal, could they always give him credit for exposing Bill Cosby? Is that true?
Yeah. I don't know if he was the only one, but he put gas in the fire by talking about Bill Cosby, drugging and raping women for sure.
Damn, that was really part of his comedy?
I don't know if it was part of his set.
Observational comedy. And then, like...
That's interesting, though, because that was tough. Like, my mind has shifted a little bit, but, it's like, damn, you want to be the motherfucker to out him? Like, damn, the black dude? Like, because even though Cosby, I guess, is found guilty, even though Cosby did the shit, it's like, damn, this motherfucker did sin. He did rape some hoes, but he did send 1,000 kids to college. Did do that.
It's like
what I'm saying? Like, damn.
The Chappelle Show. He rapes, but he saves.
That's real, though. That's what that set was about. And it's true. You know what I mean? That's what that set was about. So that was tough for me, like, with Hannibal. Like, I know for me, like, I didn't know him at the time, but I was kind of like, I'm not really fucking with you. Not that you're wrong, but I'm like, damn, you got to be the dude? Like, you want to be the dude? So now you're getting pats on your back.
I would love for him to do an interview after the fact. But he probably, Bill Cosby, to talk about that.
He probably has.
Damn, I've never seen it. I've never seen any interviews.
He's commented on it.
Huh?
He's talked before. But I mean,
I'll have to look for that because I haven't seen anything in that direction. Because I would love to know his perspective on it. Because I have a perspective on it.
I mean, if you're fucking chicks while they're asleep and they don't know, you're wrong, regardless of your perspective. But one of my friends, who's an older dude, super successful director, like 15 Emmys.
Right.
He was telling me, he said, look, back in the day, he said, man, there'd be a candy dish of Quaaludes on set.
And it wasn't a drug then.
Right. No, they were drugs.
No, it wasn't considered a drug then. Now, it may have gave you a drug feeling, but legally, it was not a drug. That's
Quaalude?
true.
Is that true?
That is absolutely true.
Well, technically, like, if you take...
It was a party favor, but it wasn't considered a drug.
Advil is considered a drug.
Yeah.
It's not
they hadn't categorized Quaaludes at the time as a drug. People knew the effects of it for sure.
It was sold in pharmacies. It was sold in pharmacies. So hence a drug.
I don't know what year you're talking about.
You're saying over the counter versus like non,
but it's
whatever.
still like no matter what it is, like diarrhea pills, those are drugs. So it's technically a drug, which is not illegal.
It definitely wasn't illegal.
I didn't know that. I don't know.
I saw it in Wolf of Wall Street. That's how I know about Quaaludes.
Yeah.
Because they talk about like you take it and then if you stay awake, then you get a little bit of a buzz.
Have you had a Quaalude?
No.
I've never had a Quaalude either.
But I've had like a thing called like, they sold it in Walgreens called Walac, which is for congestions and stuff like that. But that type of drug, they don't allow you to buy more than one because you can turn it into meth. And it gets you kind of drowsy and shit. And it's for congestion.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some wild shit though, man. Like, stuff that you just wouldn't believe. That's where the expression "never meet your heroes" comes from.
Yeah.
I mean, these dudes smacking their women up, doing just a different time back then.
Yeah, I remember. You know what's so funny? I can't remember who's the guy from 007.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Did you ever see that interview?
Yeah.
Where he talked about, and I think he was speaking to Barbara Walters, and she was having a conversation with him, and then she was asking him about slapping women. And he was like, yeah, if she needed it, I would give it to her. Like he didn't have a problem. Like, did you ever see it? Oh yeah, it's hilarious, dude. And he kept that shit 100.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah.
Scottish dudes. I was
like,
get there.
She needed it. She got it.
I just hate the fact that people are getting tried in retrospect now.
I hate that too.
Yeah, that's tough because, times were different then. And you could meet the. Do
you think that the fact that people went 20, 30, 40 years after Bill Cosby, didn't you think that was a little odd? I thought that was crazy to me.
Some of it, though, but I've never been raped, bro. So I don't know about the shame of that.
No, that's true, too. But the only thing, a lot of those people...
If two flamboyantly gay... No, seriously. Two flamboyantly gay white guys beat your ass.
Right.
Like, just nobody saw it.
Right.
But they whooped your ass.
Right.
Like, seriously, 150 pounds. Beat you down.
Right.
You telling me? You probably not going to tell me.
But they not here no more either.
What does that mean?
That means because I'm going to get them. I'm not.
No, they're gone. They're done. They left you on the ground. You can want to come back and get them, but you've been humiliated. Are you telling me about it?
I have no problems telling about vulnerable moments for me. I just keep it 100. I'd be
so
like,
if those two gay guys raped you, are you telling anybody?
No, they not here no more.
No, they made it. They made it.
No.
No, they survived.
They didn't make it.
No, they survived. They survived.
They don't survive.
It was just a flesh wound.
They don't survive.
It was just a flesh wound. They got away. so if that's what happened, you telling?
Hey, the rape, guess what? They not here. That's all I can
let's
say.
say in a scenario they did it and then they got in the car immediately.
It has to be a believable scenario for me.
Let's say they did it.
They not here.
Let's say they did it. You killed them.
Right?
Are you telling us?
Yeah.
You telling us you got raped?
Them two dudes raped me. They're not here.
You're never telling us.
No, like if you kill them, you're probably gonna try to hide the bodies and go on with your life, wouldn't you? Or you're just gonna accept prison for life?
No,
that's self-defense.
That's self-defense for sure.
Can they prove it?
Huh? I got.
they got the rape kit. He'll have to submit samples. He'll have to submit samples. You're not telling nobody.
Wait, listen, let me tell you something. What's even weird? Can you be a man going to they whip out the rape kit? That shit would be like, kill me now.
So the reality is,
right?
I think you just answered the question. You're not telling nobody that you got raped.
Listen, that would be hard for. Listen, I don't look. I believe in living in pain.
Yeah,
because I think that's what men have to do. Is just we put shit on our shoulders. That's a tough one to swat. Everybody kind of similar to you, like you said. Yeah, the cum got in his eye. He's like, everybody got to die. That's exactly how I feel, and I'm going through with it.
But the difference is, everybody got to die because everybody got to die, number one. But to make sure nobody hears about this ever.
Okay, yeah. That's true.
I mean, are you telling?
Huh?
You telling? If it happens to you?
Rape is too much.
So that goes. There's your answer to your question.
And if somebody's walking the street, walking their dog.
What do you mean? Okay,
walking. The rape happens. There's somebody walking their dog, and they see you.
They got to go too.
Okay.
And the dog.
and the dog. But there you go. And so 30 years, I mean, yeah, you make it much harder, but I would imagine that somebody will have a little bit more courage if there were other people there to support them.
That's true. Listen, I'm not for violating any. That's just not my spirit. That's just like not my spirit.
I think Diddy was out there raping women and men. Like, damn.
I mean, that's what they say. So for me, it's always innocent until proven guilty. So right now, I'm still on Diddy's side until I hear the stories, like in court, everything, and then I can sway because I'm grown and I can always change my mind.
Isn't it better just to say like, I don't know? Like,
what do you mean?
Like instead of saying like I'm on his side or he's guilty, it's like I don't know. You defend him a lot.
No, I don't. I try to get you guys to understand it's innocence until proven guilty. You guys immediately.
Just like OJ.
Huh?
Just like OJ.
OJ didn't kill that girl. It ain't no way.
Who did it?
Huh?
Who did it?
Who knows?
I think it was drug dealers. Me personally.
It's no way OJ did that.
It was
50 years old.
Colombian necktie,
wounds on you. He walk away with a scratch of a fight. The guy got wounds on his hands and feet.
So was he there?
Listen, I can get into. This is my thing. This is my thing about all of that. The scenario that they presented I don't believe. But that was the only one I was presented. Now, if you're saying if he was there with other people and guns and nobody heard anything and all that kind of stuff, I'm more apt to believe that. But the scenario that was presented to me, no way that happened.
So the driver seen him hop the fence at his house?
It sounded like, huh? I don't know the driver part. I don't know the driver part.
I think he saw the crime scene and then he's like, oh shit, and then just left. But I think somebody else did the dirty work.
It's crazy. Why would you leave though?
Huh? Can you imagine, like,
if I saw it and I saw my ex-wife there and the other guy there, I would just call the police. It wasn't me. That's what I would do. I wouldn't run away.
Unless you knew something.
Yeah.
Now that I believe. Now that did he know about it? Was he there? I can get into all of that. But did he do it personally by himself? Nah, that's tough for me. That scenario I'm not rolling with. Why, you think he did it?
I don't know. I remember I used to play ball at Barrington Rec. Right?
Okay.
Which is a park out in Brentwood, and he used to live not too far from there.
He lived off of Barrington.
Yeah, in a condo.
No. Not Nicole lived off of Barrington.
Yeah. This is after. After he got out of jail.
Okay.
And one black dude. This is one of the parks. It was like, a lot of white people, whatever. This one black dude from the hood. He used to come out there. He had a white girl. You know how it go. He had a white girl. This hood dude, like, cool though. He was like, yo, he was like, man, you cool, dude. He was like, man, I play cards with OJ, man, on Tuesdays, man. Once you roll with me, I was like, nah. Damn,
you didn't want to go play with OJ?
For what?
The juice?
For what?
Oh, I'm there.
You cannot murder two people twice.
I'm good.
You're getting away with one now.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Nah. God, I didn't know you had that. I don't know. You seem a bit judgmental. I never felt like you were like that.
I ain't judging, but I'm good.
But that's judging.
No, it ain't.
No, he just doesn't want to play with. I would have played with OJ, but he doesn't want to play with OJ.
He might have killed them. That's enough for me. I'm good. Seriously, I'm not saying he did.
Have you ever been convicted of something you didn't do?
No.
Has a girl ever said you slept with her and you never slept with her?
No.
I've had that happen.
Has somebody ever said you stole something and you never did it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So when that happens to you and you know you didn't do it, but everyone thinks you did, don't you wish that people would be like, well, I know Jeru. I spent time with Jeru. Yeah. I don't think Jeru would ever do that.
Yeah.
And I hope.
Sure.
So I would hope those people would still go play cards with you.
That's different.
Is it?
Yeah, because no, he didn't know OJ.
Jeru's never given nobody a Colombian necktie either.
Come on. You really think that OJ, that's, he's doing that?
No.
See, I
never heard the Colombian necktie.
No, that's a real thing.
I know what it is. I never heard that he did that. I never heard that. Let me not say he. I never heard that was part of it. I heard that the neck was sawed off so bad that the tongue was hanging out.
See, this is my thing. Unless you're an experienced killer and you got all that blood and you cutting necks and you giving people Colombian neckties and you got this whole inability to literally kill your ex-wife with a woman you used to love at some point, and you do all of that for your very first crime, that's tough.
I don't know if that was his very first crime though.
So you think he was a serial killer, dude?
I didn't say that. But you've been affiliated with sports. You know how there's so much shit that gets covered up that people do. How many people have gotten beaten up badly by a star player and it gets swept under the rug?
Nicole Simpson, there are reports that OJ did beat ass.
No, wait, time out. A woman beat her? He definitely did that. But now a killer is jumping over the line.
At what point in time do you say, okay, I believe that nigga might be a killer? At what point in time? After the first killing? After the second, maybe?
I never thought OJ killed her. Ever. And you know who told me that he didn't do it? My grandmother. My grandmother watched every ounce of that fucking trial. And she said, she was like, baby, he didn't do it. It's no way he did it. And I believe my grandmother.
It's so much shadiness. I remember the day that the day that he was announced not guilty, I was headed southbound on the 405, right where the 10 and it merges, the 10 and the 405. And this white boy in a truck tried to run me off the road, like
because
because I mean, and literally, that's the only thing I think it was. Literally, fuck my car up. I was like up against the rail, like scraping for like 20 feet until I could stop. They were not happy about that shit.
But don't you think that that's so crazy that, I mean, it was literally, because I remember it, women crying on camera that OJ got away and he killed her.
Wasn't no black women crying.
It sure wasn't.
It was only white people.
It was only white, but isn't it crazy that they were so passionate about a person that they didn't know? And he was literally crying, and he got off, so obviously he was innocent of the crime. I think that that's wild that they felt so compassionate about that.
I don't know if black people celebrated that he was innocent. I think we celebrated that he got off and the system worked for us as opposed to him being innocent.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. I don't think that. And I think white people were outraged that a nigga could get off on this system when he did that shit. That's what they thought. So yeah. I don't know, but I don't know. But yeah, today, man, I mean, like, I don't know. Hollywood, man, is just weird. Like I'm doing, I don't even know if we still talking, but I'm doing this Cash Money Comedy Bowl,
right?
Super Bowl. And it's just interesting because I don't want to have. I think it's probably a product of my age, but I don't need to be friends with none of these cats that I do. We could just be cool. Like if we become friends, great. But I don't need to be friends with nobody that's said they killed niggas on wax. Good, nigga, do your thing. Seriously, I don't need. Why I want to? Nah, I believe you good enough for me. You left the body behind. All right, cool. So like this Cash Money comedy thing. Hey, it's hip hop and it's comedy, but I don't want.
I think it's gonna be big for you.
I think it's gonna be another thing. I think it's gonna be.
Cash Money, the Lil Wayne Cash Money.
Yeah,
we're doing it. Baby Cash Money.
Yeah.
So you're working with now because now Cash Money has an agency with management and stuff like that.
You talking about?
No, that's Lil Wayne's thing.
Okay.
No, this is Cash Money. This is Baby and Slim, the guys who own the Cash Money records. Super Bowl is in New Orleans. So we're doing a show in New Orleans, the Cash Money Comedy Bowl. So that's the first thing.
Have you guys developed the cast for that as far as the comedians?
Yeah, it's Manny Fresh DJing. It's D-Ray Davis, Jess Hilarious, TK Kirkland, Ryan Davis, and somebody else. Michael Blackson.
I think that's gonna be extreme. I think that's gonna be hilarious, and I think you're gonna sell out.
I mean, great. Hope so. That's the goal every single time.
I think that's something. I think Cash Money, the name itself, I think that name carries weight, and I think you can take that from city to city.
We are planning, and if it succeeds, we will do more. Yeah. I mean, all jokes aside, Baby seems like a great guy and a smart dude. So. And those guys got brand name equity and, developing a property like that is something that I kind of got my eyes on for sure. That and much more. We good?
Mm-hmm.
We did all right, cool.
Hey, but Jeru, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. Yeah.